My grandfather's arm felt heavy across my shoulders, warm, confident, deceptively tender. The dining room glowed with gold and amber light, reflecting off crystal glasses and polished mahogany. Our family dinners were a performance of elegance and restraint. But that night, his voice cracked through the air like thunder. "Grandson," he said, his lips brushing my ear. "Hope you're enjoying everything tonight." The way he emphasized everything made my stomach turn before I even understood why. When he pulled back, his smile didn't reach his eyes. It lingered, testing me. And across the table, my fiancée, Elena, froze mid-laugh. Something shifted then, like a string snapping quietly beneath the hum of polite conversation. The setup. Grandfather Victor was a man who had built empires from dust. His words were gospel, his praise rare enough to feel like a spotlight. Tonight's dinner was to celebrate my engagement, his idea, his money, his wine. Everyone was there, my parents, cousins, uncles, aunts, an entire gallery of judgmental eyes. The meal was perfection. Roasted duck with cranberry glaze, truffle risotto, and fine Bordeaux older than I was. Elena sat beside me, radiant, charming everyone effortlessly. She always knew how to command a room without trying. I loved that about her, or at least, I thought I did. Until that moment when my grandfather's gaze flicked from me to her with something knowing, something private. The cracks. As the meal dragged on, I couldn't shake it. Every time she laughed at one of his dry jokes, every time his hand brushed hers when passing a dish, it was like static electricity zapping straight into my spine. Maybe I was imagining it. My mind had always been prone to overthinking. I told myself it was just nerves. My family dinners always made me tense. But then came dessert. "Tell us again," grandfather said, swirling his brandy. "How you two met. It's a lovely story." Elena smiled politely. "Oh, we met through work. I was consulting for one of your companies, actually." Victor interrupted. Yes, I remember very well." His grin widened, wolfish and nostalgic. My mother looked up from her plate, sensing tension. "Father, what are you?" "Oh, just reminiscing," he said lightly. Elena was quite memorable when she joined our little circle. The room went still. Elena's hand tightened around her spoon, trembling just slightly. Her lips parted, then closed again. That's when the air turned poisonous. The realization. After dessert, everyone drifted into the living room for drinks. I stayed behind under the pretense of cleaning up, my thoughts unraveling like loose threads. Elena was memorable. "Hope you're enjoying everything." My chest throbbed. I couldn't breathe properly. When I finally looked up, they were in the hallway, Elena and my grandfather, talking quietly. His hand rested on her arm, far too familiar. She tried to pull back. He smiled. That smile. I knew it. I'd seen it at board meetings, when he was about to destroy someone's career with politeness. Something inside me snapped. I stepped forward. "Everything okay here?" They turned simultaneously, two masks of civility. "Of course," grandfather said smoothly. "Just catching up." Elena's voice was soft. "We were just talking about old projects." Her eyes didn't meet mine. And suddenly, I saw it, every strange late-night call, every hushed text, every time she'd said she was working late. All of it stitched together in a horrifying pattern I'd been too blind to see. The discovery. That night, I couldn't sleep. The whispers of the evening played on repeat in my head until they twisted into something unbearable. At 2 a.m., I went to the guest room where Elena was staying. The door was slightly ajar. Inside, she sat on the bed, phone in hand, her screen glowing with a message thread I could read even from the doorway. "Victor, tomorrow night. After everyone leaves. Same room. Elena, you promised this would end when he proposed." My knees went weak. I had to grab the doorframe to steady myself. She looked up and gasped when she saw me. "Nathan, wait. How long?" My voice was barely a whisper. "Nathan, please. How long have you been sleeping with my grandfather?" Silence. Then tears. Real or rehearsed, I couldn't tell anymore. "It started before you," she said finally. I didn't know who you were at first. He said you were just some investment advisor. I swear, I didn't. Stop, I snapped. Don't you dare try to clean this up. I ended it. I tried to, she cried. He wouldn't, he said he'd ruin my career, my life. Her words blurred into white noise. I felt sick, dizzy. Every memory we shared, every kiss, every promise, felt like a cruel inside joke I'd never been in on. The confrontation. Morning light spilled into the dining room like an interrogation lamp. My grandfather sat at the table, reading his paper, sipping coffee like nothing had happened. I slammed my phone down in front of him, the open text messages staring back. He didn't even flinch. So you know, he said calmly, folding the newspaper. You destroyed me, I whispered. He looked at me, eyes cold and ancient. Don't be dramatic, Nathan. You were just a boy who thought he was a man. She was playing both sides. I simply didn't lose. She was mine, I said through clenched teeth. He smiled faintly. She was never anyone's. It was like being punched without contact. Elena stood in the doorway, pale, trembling. I could see the shame in her eyes, but it wasn't enough. Nothing would ever be enough. I walked out without another word. The aftermath. 3 months later, my grandfather's company made headlines for a financial scandal. Anonymous leaks, insider documents, a full-blown investigation. He lost millions. So did everyone who trusted him. I never said a word. But he knew. I could tell by the way he avoided my calls. Elena disappeared. Last I heard, she'd moved to another city, changed her name, tried to rebuild. As for me, I learned that betrayal doesn't shatter all at once. It seeps in like poison, slow, invisible, permanent. Every time I close my eyes, I still hear his voice in that golden dining room. Hope you're enjoying everything, grandson. And I finally understand. He wasn't just taunting me. He was confessing. Because for men like him, destruction is just another form of affection.